After the change has been introduced and the process of the change is moving along, leaders must create dialogue, invite others to ask questions, and share their emotions, experiences, and insights about the change taking place. Change stirs up emotions, and these emotions don't only flare up during the initial phase of announcing the change, but they are triggered and come alive over and over throughout the entire process. Daily dialogue designed to check in on the change process is crucial. Let's review some key questions leaders can use to incite daily dialogue. Questions to validate that the communication was on point and ones that will help validate the change trajectory. What are we aiming for with this change? What are your thoughts on the objectives we're aiming to achieve with this change? What are your individual responsibilities associated to this change? What are your team goals associated to the change? What decision-making authority do you have? And is it the right amount? Was the training you went through adequate? Are you receiving the support you need? What other concerns or questions about the change do you have that there hasn't been an opportunity for you to ask or share? Yes, these questions are simple. I share them as a reminder as to how easy it is to engage in casual conversation. Another favorite leadership book of mine I often recommend is John Maxwell's Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. If you haven't given it a read, I highly recommend that you do. Each time a sponsor takes the opportunity to pause and reiterate through daily dialogue the importance of a change the company or team is going through, the more they deeply embed the value of the change within themselves and their stakeholders. Sponsors and leaders must recognize that even a brief interaction done right can build a stakeholder's confidence in themselves to commit to change their actions or attitudes the change requires. These brief interactions can propel the change journey and escalate successful change adoption. Now, when your feedback sessions and daily dialogue shows up that all stakeholders, those impacted by the change, can clearly understand and articulate why the change is needed, what is changing, how the change benefits the organization, how the change affects them individually, you'll know your communication was effective. Yes, communication is critical. Recent studies show that 57% of employees report that they've still not been given clear direction. 86% of employees and executives identify ineffective communication as the greatest cause for workplace failures. And 33% of employees report that open and honest communication is missing. This certainly calls out the need for more transparent communication. Most companies don't have to go much farther than their last team engagement survey to understand the impact poor communication has on teams. Let's wrap up our time on communication with this reminder. The effectiveness of communication is not defined by the communication, but by the response.